Folks, Turbine Guy coming back at you with just an amazing story of the gall of utilities. This from the Louisiana Illuminator. Customers who save on electric bills could be forced to pay utility company for lost profits. Yeah, for lost profits. Actually, they want to charge their customers for money they're not making anymore. Louisiana Public Service Commission weighs bid for Energy Efficiency Administrator. And this came out, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago, this story. I think you're going to be just as appalled as the Turbine Guy is as we go through this. Louisiana's major electric utilities are still pushing state regulators to allow them to charge customers for the cost of a new statewide energy efficiency program and for the electricity customers will no longer need because of the program. Now, I get the first part. You're going to charge for electricity customers will no longer need because of the program. That's insanity. A large group that included Louisiana Public Service Commission staff, utility company executives, consumer advocates, and other energy experts met Wednesday to evaluate bids from companies that want to oversee Louisiana's new energy efficiency program. The LPSC's new energy efficiency program will require certain statewide energy savings targets. Hitting those targets could require the administrator to implement things like appliance upgrades for large commercial buildings or smaller efforts like helping low-income customers insulate their homes. While the idea might seem like a straightforward solution to cut back on waste, utility company executives are not happy. In general, utility companies earn more profit when homes and businesses waste electricity. Less waste leads to lower electric bills, which could mean lower profits for the utilities. Entergy Louisiana and CLECO vehemently opposed the idea and successfully delayed its adoption for years. A consultant the commission hired to write the basic guidelines for the program spent 13 years, $500,000 trying to appease the utilities with agreeable rules. 13 years trying to make the utilities happy. What about the people they're serving? Crazy. Up with delays, Commissioner Craig Green, Republican of Baton Rouge, ended the stalemate in late January and joined with two Democrats on the commission in adopting what they say is a more consumer-friendly program than the one the utilities wanted. Nevertheless, customers will still foot the bill for the program and have been doing so for years. Entergy Louisiana customers can find those fees on their monthly statements billed as Rider EECR-QS or -PE. So they've been paying for this program for 13 years, and it finally got adopted, not because of the utilities, because they fought it the whole time. Even though customers are covering all the costs of the program, the utilities companies could end up squeezing them for lost profits with so-called under-earning fees. Utility companies lobbied the LPSC to keep a provision that allows them to tack on additional charges to make up for profits they miss out on when the customers no longer waste electricity. In other words, the utilities want their customers to pay fees for both the energy efficiency program and for the electricity they will no longer use because of the program. That's whacked. Commissioners denied the utilities' version of that policy, and while the matter is settled for the time being, the utility executives signaled they don't intend to ease up on the pressure. In other words, they want to keep taking money from your pocket. Although the current members of the commission would be less likely to change the policy to accommodate the wishes of the utility companies, the panel is expected to look very different after the election. Commissioner Green, a moderate Republican who has tempered partisanship on the commission, as the lone swing vote between the Democrats and two other Republicans, is not seeking re-election. His solidly conservative district could elect someone more right-wing that will help the utilities. The lost profit recovery issue was a major sticking point for utility executives during prior debates and briefly resurfaced at Wednesday's meeting before Commissioner Devontae Lewis shut it down, saying the purpose of the meeting was not to debate an already settled issue. Lewis told the executives the commission invited them to participate in Wednesday's work session simply to evaluate the bids and expected them to contribute with constructive comments. He said he would gladly exclude them from future work sessions if they tried to derail the purpose of the meeting. I wanted to remind them that the fight was over and that they asked to participate in helping hire an administrator for that energy efficiency program. Okay, now quick correction. A previous version of this article incorrectly described the final version of the energy efficient rules as containing a lost contribution to fixed cost policy. This was taken out and it's not there, but as I say, this policy is actually removed, though nothing precludes the LPSC from adopting it in the future. So what we have here in Louisiana is a utility who has what? Not only fought for over a decade to prevent an energy efficiency program paid for by you, the customers there in Louisiana, which they've already been charging you for, but they want you to pay for what they call lost profits because people aren't using everything they were before. This is pure insanity. How can somebody charge you for something you're not using? And that's exactly what these utilities want to do. They want to stick it to the people of Louisiana. Why? So they can keep driving their Lexuses and whatever around, so they can keep getting their bonuses, so that they can keep sitting on their fat cat contracts. Because you know what? In Louisiana, utilities have monopolies. Well, thank goodness this commission stood up at the end and said, hey, you know what? That lost profit thing's out the door. It's ridiculous. And I think you agree with me that it's just plain insanity to want to charge people for something they're not using. Turbine Guy, signing off.